everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. Today we're going to be talking about the 911 terrorists. Now, maybe a few days, a few weeks ago, I don't remember because so many news been coming out like in a firehouse, so hard to keep up. But there was this article that came up where they admitted that those two Saudi terrorists that hijacked the planes to rewrite them and hit the towers in New York. They were CIA operative or informant or operative, but they were working with the CIA at one point in time. And when the news came out, I was not exactly shocked. And I think many of you who have been awake have noticed a pattern of the CIA always aware, always involved in every of the major events that have occurred in the States or around the world. So with that being said, I was curious to find why now? Because all these years have passed. I mean, I know people thirst for justice, particularly their family member who have lost loved ones from these three towers. Yes, I said three because the two towers we know about, and there was tower number 7 that fell at 5 o'clock that afternoon, unrelated to those two towers. Anywho, let's not be boggled out by details, but research to do. So the question that I have, why is that information coming out right now? Right? A lot of information has been coming out. How JFK was, the CIA was involved in the JFK assassination. And how the CIA has been involved in other, like the Epstein thing, that they've been in contact. So that's another question for later on. But right now, we wanted to know why that information is coming out now. Oh, before I forget completely, I'm using the Wiser Tarot deck. Cool. And so yeah, why is that information coming out now? Right? Because what's his name did there was a committee, there was a report, there was a review. Yes, by Mueller, the same Mueller that did the thing against Trump, that report. I'm telling you, people, it's like a bad movie. So clearly there was a lot of cover-up going on back then, and a lot of these people who did not get justice. I was following that story in when I live in New York, because I remember at one point a lot of engineers said that it was not the plane, it was a controlled demolition. That a few weeks before the tower was quote-unquote hit, that there was a group of workers that came in to do work supposedly, but a lot of people said that's when the detonation were installed. And a lot of engineers came with their report and says there's no way the tower would have gone down by a plane. It has to be a controlled demolition. That story was quickly removed from the headlines, but it was there. I'm telling you, there's crazy stuff. So why is the information coming out now that these terrorists were working for the CIA, those Saudi terrorists? Why now? Judgment is the first card. The Magician. Ten of Swords in the background, recent past. Six of Swords, King of Swords, so King of Swords, Three of Cups, and Wheel of Fortune. Clarification. So that's interesting. The Judgment cards tell me that it's as if it was time for that information to come out, for somebody to sound out the trumpets, so to speak, to wake up the population. So it serves as there's two layers, those two layers here. So it was time for the information to come out, and it's also they want to wake up the population, because the trumpet is always about the sound of the shofar. If you remember that that passage in the Bible where they had to circle the city, what, 7 times, and then by the 7th time everything crumbled, and then the city fell, kind of thing. So that sound was so powerful. It's like a sonic boom, right? But the same thing here, but sonic boom was to awaken people, the population, to see what that, the government here, the cabal, is a part of it is the CIA, and they're not good people, and that they've been hurting a lot of people around the world for a very long time. So they want people to be awakened to this truth, to this information. So that's why they put it out there. And it's a major arcana. So the major arcana, I mean, they just dropped it in people's lap. The Magician situation. So obviously, that information did not get a lot of traction as I felt that it should have. So yes, it was communicated to us. So if you're paying attention, you will see that information out there. But if you're not, like regular people who are working, they're not going to be noticing that information. So the Magician card is 2 layers here. Yes, Magician is ruled by Mercury, which is a communication card, persuasive, but it's also a trickery card. So that, because a lot of information was going out around that time, it got cast aside and not really given the attention that it needed. So some trickery was involved here, because again, that should have been headline news. That thing should be like going over and over again, but we've been focused on the Bud Light thing. So it got lost in the fray, so to speak. So with the Magician card, yeah, that information was communicated, right? So whoever was paying attention did notice, right? It was communicated. However, if there were so many other things going on, it got lost. So again, some trickery. So I guess they purposefully put that information out there, knowing that other information is gonna drown that noise, right? So 10 of Swords. So 10 of Swords is an ending of Swords. Ending. Swords is truth, word, information, spiritual awakening. So I think whoever put out that information have already cleaned up, have already did the justice, have already find out who, what, when, where, for that investigation about what happened with that Tower card. And now I guess they feel that it's time to put that information out there. Only because once an investigation is over, then you're able to put put the truth out. So I think that's basically what's going on. It looks like they've done the investigation, they've done the justice, punish whoever was involved. They wrapped up the case. It looks like a long time ago with that 10 of Swords. However, now that's when it's coming out with that 6 of Swords, because 6 of Swords is about coming out of a bad situation and coming into something better. So it can also be seen as a way of coming out. So the information is coming out after it's been secreted, after it's been, again, people were considered conspiracy theorists, kind of had an idea, because nobody can enter your home unless you give them the code, the access code or the key, right? So it had to be some inside job, and a lot of people have kind of sort of alluded to it, but now that's ultimate proof that this was an inside job, right? And now the information is coming out for everybody to see. Well, people who wants to see. And now the information is coming out in a very big way, right? With that King of Swords, because there's no higher than the king. It's there for you to see receipts, man, because the mainstream media is talking about it. Granted, it hasn't made a big splash that I wanted it to make, but it's out there. So if you read the news, that information is going to caught your attention, right? And whether you want to um, uh, denounce or deny or whatever, they have receipt. Information is there to prove that no, it was an inside job, kind of. And this should unite us. That information should unite us as a collective, because Three of Cups is celebration, is unity, is coming together, because this lady is celebrating harvest. So in a way, it is. This information is coming out. It is a harvest of sort, harvesting of information, of truth, right? Because it deals with something tangible here. Even though at an emotional level, we should come together. We should uh, um, rally around this to ask for change, to change the way things are, to change certain governmental institution, because clearly they're not working for the people, they're working against the people. So the Wheel of Fortune is mean there's going to be a change of fortune for us, for that group, uh, uh, the governmental group. Things are going to change in a big way. So, and I'm not surprised, because we have been seeing that things are changing on every aspect of our life, right? So, yeah, okay. So now the question that I have, the other question is Epstein. There have been, I think, a couple articles that I've seen that said, and we people who've done research kind of sort of alluded to the fact that Epstein was working for the Mossad or the CIA. I think there was an article came out. If I remember, I will try to put the link or have the pop-up come in on the screen, where I think the ex-CIA head of CIA was in contact with Epstein at one point in time. And he was already a convicted pedophile by then, and he was meeting with this guy. So why would a head of CIA been talking to Epstein after his conviction of being a pedophile? Unless, you're running a business here where you're trying to get blackmail on other people, powerful people, to do your bidding, right? So the other question is, now that information is coming out, why? Why is that information coming out right now? Is it the same thing? Timing? Because we're also starting to get a hint or whiff of the people that Epstein used to be dealing with. So the client list is starting to come out little by little. I mean, we know for sure Bill Gates. We know for sure Bill, the ex-president. I mean, so, okay, let's ask, why is Epstein involvement with the Mossad and the CIA coming out now? Because it looks like, again, we're seeing this common theme, right? Where the CIA is everywhere. And to some degree, too, the Mossad, which is the secret intelligence for Israel. So let's see what the cards wants to share about. Epstein. And I think I may have to mention that Ghislaine Maxwell, the madame, her dad was also involved with the Mossad, and then he died mysteriously, quote unquote. And I will not be surprised if she was the handler or if she was the one that pulled them in. So that's another thought for another day. Page of Wands, first card. So we're asking why now? 10 of Wands for Epstein's information involvement with the CIA is coming up. Two of Pentacle in the past. 4 of Wands. That's a lot of wands here so far. King of Cups. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Wow, that's a lot of aces. So I think that's confirmation, because all aces, yes. About, yes, he was involved with the Mossad and the CIA. Okay, that's good to know. We wanted to know why. So the message came out in a very unexpected and flamboyant way. It's just like sneak past us, right? And I think in the past with that two of Pentacle, that says that they wrestled about when was a opportune time to put it out there. But with that 10 of Pentacle, I think because, you know, people have been asking about that client list for a while. Like, a lot of people are not relenting to it. There's certain celebrity who even have made comments about, you know, we need to see that client list. How can Ghislaine be convicted of trafficking? Where's the list? Who's your client? Which makes, so a lot of people are getting tired of not getting the information come true, right? And so with that four of Wands, that tells me that a lot of people are open to receiving that information now. Because now, you know, before Epstein was being talked about on the hush-hush basis, but now there's so much information coming out, you know, from the attorneys, from the legal documents from the case, and a lot of people are not letting it go. So now the population or people are open to hear what they have to say. Sorry about the noise in the background. Again, when you're working when girls are around, I had to shoo her away. Yeah, 4 of Wands is basically they're open now, more than ever. They're open to receive that information, right? And people are coming together. People wants to know. People want the truth to come out. So, and now, King of Cups. King of Cups, again, no higher than the king. King of Cups is usually emotional. It could be spiritual awareness. So a lot of people are becoming awake. You know, that powerful people who are very good at manipulating others were involved. And there's no way to hide this anymore. You know, the Seville of the world, the Epstein of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the Bill Clintons of the world, you know, people with certain means. I mean, we've seen Zuckerberg in that island as well, and a bunch of other people, right? Because they were pictured, allegedly, obviously, rubbing shoulders with these people on that island. The flight log. I mean, again, people are becoming awake, and people are also becoming aware of these people level of manipulation, that yes, they're powerful, they're rich, they control what you hear, what you see on your TV set, on what you read in terms of articles, and they manipulate you into thinking that no, that's not true, your eyes are lying to you. This form of gaslighting, right? But the truth is coming in wave, so they cannot avoid that, and people are becoming aware, right? Because more people are coming out, more whistleblowers are revealing information, right? Either they're coming with receipts, right? And either they're confirming what you already know deep in your heart on a deep emotional level, right? So, wow, that's pretty interesting. And I'm happy that the truth is coming out. Those victims, these kids, right? Maybe they're not kids anymore at this point, but that inner child needs to be healed, right? They need to find closure so they can finally move on. And the more we're putting this aside, the more that we're putting it under the rug, it's not helping us as a society for turning a blind eye to this, and it's not helping those inner child, those kids, to find closure. So we need to put this out. We need to uh, uh, see the truth so that we all could heal collectively. And we have our part to blame with this for not wanting to address it. I know in the Black community it happens a lot, form of abuse where people, kids are being passed around, and these kids have no way of finding closure because it's their own family that's hurting him. There's a pattern here that needs to be explored, that needs to be addressed, and so that abuse could be stopped, right? In the familial level, in the foster care system, and everything in between, right? And it's usually your first line of defense that betrays you. So again, this needs to be addressed. I want everybody to find closure, and my heart goes to these kids. They're a young lady now, but that kid inside is still crying out for love, to feel secure, and to find closure. So thank you guys for sticking with me to the end of this video. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.